ایران اسلامی از لحاظ توانایی‌های مقابله با تهدیدهای سخت در یک سطح عالی قرار داره. مردم احساس امنیت میکنن از این جهت.
Moments ago, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival.
Iran is closer than ever to obtaining a nuclear weapon. This morning, the IDF began preemptive and precise strikes targeting the Iranian nuclear program in order to prevent the Iranian regime's ability to build a nuclear bomb in the immediate time frame. This operation is for our right to exist here, for our future and for our children's future.
Israel on June 13th launched its most audacious military campaign in decades, a sweeping aerial assault targeting Iran's nuclear and military infrastructure. In a pre-dawn offensive codenamed Operation Rising Lion, the attacks were first reported around 3 a.m. local time in the Iranian capital of Tehran. This was followed by a series of explosions in several other provinces across the country. To neutralize Iran's rapid uranium enrichment and weaponization efforts, dozens of Israeli jets struck dozens of targets across Iran in coordinated waves. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called the operation a preemptive strike to eliminate an existential threat. Additional nuclear sites in Khurramabad were also hit alongside an early warning radar facility near Subhashi in Iran's Hamadan province, potentially crippling the country's ability to detect future attacks.
Today, Israel has shown that we have learned the lessons of history. When enemies vow to destroy you, believe them. When enemies build weapons of mass death, stop them. As the Bible teaches us, when someone comes to kill you, rise and act first. This is exactly what Israel has done today. We have risen like lions to defend ourselves.
The strike focused on 4 critical pillars of Iran's nuclear program. Natanz uranium enrichment facility is at the heart of Iran's uranium enrichment. It houses multiple halls that contain thousands of centrifuges that spin uranium gas for its nuclear program. Now they are engulfed in flames and smoke. According to reports, the facility was hit multiple times. The facility is half above ground and half below ground. The second site which was attacked by Israel was Iran's Arak heavy water reactor project. This is now called as Khondab facility and was under construction and was to be used for plutonium production. The facility was under Israel's radar, and the West reportedly feared that if this facility became operational, it would arm an atomic bomb. As per Israel, Iran's Armed Forces Chief of Staff Major General Mohammad Bagheri was eliminated during the strike. Multiple Iranian state media outlets suggest that IRGC Chief Major General Hossein Salami and 2 top nuclear scientists, Mohammad Mehdi Tehranchi and Feridun Abbasi, were also killed. According to multiple reports, Iran's ballistic missile facilities near Kermanshah and Sardasht were also hit.
We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear enrichment program. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear weaponization program. We targeted Iran's main enrichment facility in Natanz. We targeted Iran's leading nuclear scientists working on the Iranian bomb. We also struck at the heart of Iran's ballistic missile program.
The IDF declared a national emergency, urging citizens to shelter amid fears of retaliation. Tel Aviv's Ben Gurion Airport was also closed until further notice. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio confirmed Israel acted unilaterally with no American involvement. Tehran vowed crushing retaliation, and all major TV networks declared a state of mourning by displaying black ribbons. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei described the attack as revealing Israel's vile nature, promising severe punishment and a bitter face for Israel. Iran closed its airspace, disrupting regional air travel, while local media reported civilian casualties and loss of properties. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz in a statement said that following the preemptive strike by Israel against Iran, a missile and drone attack against Israel and its civilian population is expected in the immediate time frame. Iran's foreign ministry said that Washington, the prime supporter, will also be responsible for the dangerous consequences. Israel's ambassador to the UN urged the Security Council to back these strikes, calling Iran a blatant violator of non-proliferation treaties. Global leaders have expressed alarm. New Zealand's Prime Minister Christopher Luxon called these strikes an unwelcome development, while the UN condemned the targeting of nuclear sites amid ongoing US-Iran nuclear talks.
Iran is gearing up to produce 10,000 of those ballistic missiles within 3 years. Now just imagine 10,000 tons of TNT landing on a country the size of New Jersey.
Netanyahu has already warned that the operation will continue for as many days as it takes. The strikes likely derailed US-Iran nuclear talks set to resume in Oslo or Muscat following a breakdown after the US, UK, France and Germany submitted a non-compliance resolution against Iran at the IAEA on June the 11th. Iran's development of long-range missiles capable of reaching 3,000 kilometers and potentially targeting Europe adds a global dimension to this crisis.
This operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat. For decades, the tyrants of Tehran have brazenly, openly called for Israel's destruction.
Analysts fear a regional war, with Iran likely mobilizing proxies like Hezbollah. Meanwhile, the strikes have set back Iran's nuclear program by years. Iran's weakened regional position following the collapse of allies like Syria's Assad regime and Hezbollah in Lebanon may have emboldened Israel's timing. Iran's nuclear ambitions have long alarmed the West.
The increasing range of Iran's ballistic missiles would bring that nuclear nightmare to the cities of Europe and eventually to America. Remember, Iran calls Israel the small Satan. It calls America the great Satan.
As of May 2025, the International Atomic Energy Agency reported that Iran possessed over 400 kilograms of uranium enriched to 60% purity, enough for 9 to 10 nuclear bombs if further processed.
Despite the current military actions and heightened tensions, it is clear that the only sustainable path forward for Iran, for Israel, the entire region, and the international community is one grounded dialogue and diplomacy to ensure peace, stability, and cooperation.
Intel reports also suggested that Iran could produce up to 15 nuclear weapons within days, which likely prompted Israel's preemptive action. Despite a US proposal for renewed negotiations in late May, Israel deemed Iran's advances irreversible.
Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Other than that, I want them to be successful. I want them to be tremendous. We'll help them be successful. We'll trade with them. We'll do whatever is necessary.
The IDF released footage highlighting Iran's aggressive rhetoric. It featured statements from Iranian leaders like Hossein Salami, who called for breaking America, Israel, and their partners. The footage also featured statements from Ali Khamenei, who gave warnings about the quote-unquote Zionist regime being a dangerous cancer. This footage, part of the broader narrative of Operation Rising Lion, justifies the strike by exposing Iran's escalating threats, which have intensified since the 1979 Iranian Revolution and its nuclear advancements. So is the Middle East bracing for a new era of conflict? Will Operation Rising Lion reshape the region's security calculus, and at what cost? The risk of miscalculation looms large, with both sides on high alert and the potential for a broader conflict involving the US, Gulf states, and other regional players.
Iran is now working on what it calls the new plan to destroy Israel. You see, the old plan failed. Iran and its proxies tried to encircle Israel with a ring of fire and to attack us with the horrible attack of October 7th. But the people of Israel, the soldiers of Israel, rose like lions to defend our country. It's led millions in the chants of death to Israel and death to America. Today, Israel is responding to those genocidal calls with action and with a call of our own. Long live Israel and long live America.